Hi, seniors. So we are gearing up to take our AP exam, and I know it's a little bit of stress. It's stressful for you. It's stressful for me, too. It's stressful for all your teachers and everybody who's doing AP right now worldwide because this is something that's never been done before. So yes, there's anxiety, and the best way to combat stress and anxiety is to be prepared. So I wanted to go over this slide presentation from the AP College Board with you on how you can be prepared for your test. So just remember, your test is Wednesday, May 20th. It's at 2 o'clock, and you will need to be signed in at 1:30. You're going to be getting your test ticket 2 days before, so you're going to be getting it on May 18th, and it's going to be going to the email address that you provided the College Board with. So you do want to make sure that when you go onto My AP, you see that email and you make sure you're still able to access that email. Now, I talked to Mr. Hancock, and on May 16th, he is going to open your Chromebooks, just you guys, your Chromebooks, so you can access your private email on your Chromebook again. Because I told him, and I told Ms. Morgan, a lot of you were told correctly to use your private email, and you need access to that email to get to your test ticket. So May 16th, you should have access to your private email, and on May 18th, you'll have your test ticket. Okay? Here we go. If you want to take some notes on a piece of notebook paper, that would be good, or screenshot this on your phone. Okay. So we are going over this testing guide here. Again, you can screenshot away. It is not confidential. And then attached to this assignment is going to be an exam day checklist, and they want you to either print it or handwrite it. So if you have access to a printer, I highly recommend that. Otherwise, you can just hand copy that AP checklist. And on the AP checklist, they're going to tell you the documents that you need for your specific test. On May 4th, there's going to be a testing demo. So this week or next week, we'll be doing the testing demo. I want to do a practice test with you guys, and I also want to go through the test demo with you guys. And then if you're taking the Spanish test, Ms. Senora Hodge is going to go over some more specifics with you, but that information is also on this slide. All right, so here we go. About your test ticket. 2 days before your test, you will receive a test ticket to check in for your test. So for each test, you're going to be getting a separate test ticket. So whenever your calc test is, 2 days before the calc test, you're going to get a test ticket. Spanish, same thing. Okay. You'll need access to your ticket, and you can also get it on My AP. Don't share your ticket with anybody. Don't forward it to your school address. Nothing. If you do that, you might lose access to the test. Your ticket is only valid for the May session. If you need to do the makeup test in June, and we're going to get to reasons why you might need to do the June makeup test, you'll have to request a new test ticket. Okay, so as you can see, we are right here, Wednesday, May 20th, and Eastern Time, 2 p.m. So glad we are not overseas right now. They're taking it in the middle of the night sometimes. Now, if something happens and you need to take the June date, the test in June is Friday, June 5th at noon, and you would get your test ticket 2 days before that. Okay, remember, everybody worldwide is taking the test at the same time, so there is no late start. You need to be on at 1:30 to reserve your place. They say that it won't be more difficult to earn a 3, a 4, or a 5 this year. Remember, most schools want at least a 3 on your test. That counts generally as the pass. I know it does for like USI, IU, things like that. So it'll be very similar to last year's. AP exams are never graded on a curve. You're not in competition. There's not a certain number of 5s, 4s, or 3s they can give. So don't worry about that. We're not going to worry about all parts of a question because you guys are only going to have one question on your test. It is much shorter. It's only 45 minutes instead of 3 hours and 15 minutes. So that's good. And then they're going to send me your responses 2 weeks after you take the test. And I'm going to look through them, especially like I want you to email me if you are like, Ms. Garlick, I feel really good about this. I want you to email me, and that way during my summer, I'll take a look at your essay, because if I feel like you blew it out of the water and then your scores come back in July and they're like, oh, she got a 2 or a 1, then I can call them or email them and we can have a discussion. There are 3 different ways that you can submit your essay. You can copy and paste it, you can attach it, or you can handwrite it, take a picture on your phone, and then submit it. I really don't recommend doing the handwriting one unless your Chromebook is just like beat to crap. Okay, so the first one, the one that I would do is the copy and paste response. So what's going to happen is you're going to do a split screen. You're going to have one screen open with a Google Doc. At the top of your Google Doc, you're going to type in your AP ID, which will be on your test ticket. It's also in My AP right now, and your initials. We're going to practice that on your next essay that I have you do. You're going to put in your AP ID and your initials at the top of your response, just so you get in the habit of doing that. And then when there's 5 minutes left on the timer, you'll copy and paste it into the AP test itself and hit submit. So you're not going to actually type it on the AP test. You're going to type it in a Google Doc, copy and paste it over into the AP test. Okay? They say do not use Explorer, use Chrome or Firefox. Okay? So you'll have one screen, like say right here. Okay, one screen right here that would have your timer, and then the other screen for you to type on. You can also attach a document. Just make sure you save it as either a doc, a docx, PDF, text, or ODT. That's why I would copy and paste from a Google Doc, because you guys know sometimes when you attach a Google Doc, you might not have given them permission to view it. So I would just copy and paste. I wouldn't worry about attaching. And then you can also do a photo. If you're going to handwrite it, just make sure it's in dark pen or dark pencil, and then attach the photo to the test. Again, this is the one I would recommend the least doing, just because I feel like there's a lot of bugs here you would have to work out. We're not doing music theory. Here is the world language exam slide. Senora Hodge is going to go over this with you guys if you're in her class. I'm not going to, because I'm not an expert in it, and I'm not even going to pretend. I don't believe any of you have accommodations, but if you do, and I just don't know about them, here is the slide. If you don't know if you have accommodations or not, you can ask Miss Morgan. Makeup exam. All right. If you have any issue on exam day that prevents you from testing successfully, so say your computer crashes, say your Wi-Fi craps out because there's a storm, say you're in the middle of it and something breaks in the kitchen and your sibling cuts themselves with glass and there's blood everywhere and they're screaming, any of that counts as a reason to apply for a makeup test. The only thing that does not count for a makeup test is if you run out of time. Okay? So if you have an issue and you want to apply to take your makeup test in June, you can describe what happened at this website. So you're going to want to save that website, cb.org/requestmakeup, email them and ask for the form. Don't tell them what happened when you email them or go to that website, just ask for the form. You have to submit that form within 2 days of the original test. So you can't take the test on the 20th and then on the 25th be like, I really don't think I did my best. I want to apply for a retest. It's too late. Okay. It's not about doing your best. It's like something interrupted you and you weren't able to successfully complete it to the best of your ability. And you want to submit that request within 2 days. You have to have your original e-ticket when filling out the form. So don't delete that ticket. I don't know why you would. You don't need to delete any emails, but don't delete that ticket. Okay. By the week of May 25th, they'll let you know if you've been approved or denied. Don't call. Their call services are down. Okay. On the test day, your exam screen will guide you step by step from the moment you click your e-ticket. That's why it's so important that you have access to your e-ticket on your device. So that's why you're going to access it on your device 2 days before the test. Unexpected events may occur when testing at home. So that's why we're going to go over these further slides. So if you're like, oh, I'm good, I don't need it, you can pause right here. But these are those what if slides. Okay, so before your exam day, if you haven't been getting emails from AP College Board, you want to go onto your My AP to see the email address you use to make sure you're checking that email pretty regularly. Number 2, make sure your device is charged and it's good to go. Number 3, Practice submitting your response. We're going to do the AP demo probably either this week or next week. Then gather what you need for each exam, like the specific cheat sheet that you've made, pencils, notebook paper for annotations, and make sure you have your AP ID. Okay. Review your contact information. That's on My AP. You want to make sure that your email is the right one. If you need to update your email, you can, but you will have access to that personal email. So as long as you know the password to it, don't worry about changing it to your school email because you probably still want access to these after you graduate. If you have the Grammarly plugin on Google Docs, you are going to need to remove that plugin because otherwise your test won't load. You don't want any grammar check plugins added. Now, the regular Google Doc grammar check is fine, but if you have any plugins, you're going to need to remove those. Then there's some stuff about calc and stats, and I'll let your math teachers handle that. Okay. Remember, if you're using Google Docs and you want to attach your document rather than copy and paste it, you're going to have to download your response as a doc or docx. That's why I really do recommend copying and pasting. I don't recommend attaching. And remember, at the very top of your document, type your AP ID and then initials at the top. And you'll have just one document. Okay, I'm going to skip the handwriting part because I really don't recommend you doing that. So we're going to use the AP demo this week or next week to practice submitting responses. Now, the AP demo is different than the AP practice test. The AP demo is the same question for all different types of tests. It's just practicing the situation you're going to submit your responses in. The AP practice test is actually practicing the type of question. Here's what you need. Your exam e-ticket, completed exam day checklist that is attached to this assignment, your device fully charged. They recommend that you use Chrome, which if you're using your Chromebook, you're good to go. If you have any assistive technology for an accommodation, which I don't believe any of you do, you're going to want that. And class notes and any previous assignments. So if you want to print off some, like a really good rhetorical analysis that you did, you're welcome to it. I really recommend having that cheat sheet printed out on your table right next to you. And then here's all the other tests. We're pretty simple. They say not to use internet searches, and I would recommend that you do not use an internet search for multiple reasons. One, you only have 45 minutes to type an essay. That's not a lot of time, okay? Also, if you are caught plagiarizing in any shape or form, not only will your test be invalidated, but they'll report it to the colleges you guys are going to. You don't want that. You don't want an email to IU or USI saying, like, we regret to inform you that blah, blah, blah has cheated on their AP test. Not good. You might get kicked out of college before you even start. So on May 4th, you'll have an exam confirmation email sent to the email that you sent College Board with your AP ID on it. Remember, you're going to need that for our practice essay. And you can make sure that you're registered for all your exams there too. And then complete the AP exam day checklist, which is attached to this assignment. Okay, you're going to check in 30 minutes before, complete the identity information, and then wait for the test to begin. You'll get 45 minutes to read the question and create your essay, and then you'll get 5 minutes to submit it. So the 45-minute timer will go off, and then you'll have 5 minutes to copy and paste from your Google Doc in and hit submit. Try to remove distractions. Get yourself in a quiet room for your test. Let your parents know, your grandparents, whoever you're with, that, hey, this is my AP test. This is my really important test that I'm taking for this class. And if you can, ask them to get offline for those 45 minutes so you have the maximum bandwidth. It's not that important for the English test because you're just typing and submitting, but for your other tests, especially for your world language test, it is really important that you have as much bandwidth as possible. Okay, again, don't incorporate work which is not your own. They will be using detection devices like through your camera and through your typing to see when you stop typing and maybe try to look up something. This is what it looks like when it's time to check in for your exam. You'll type your AP ID right there. And don't refresh your browser. Okay. It does say you can print the test questions, but we talked about that. I don't recommend printing because it could shut down your browser. Make sure you watch your time. Okay. You want to spend about 10 minutes reading and annotating on a notebook paper the different stuff that you see in the passage, the different strategies. And then you want to spend about 30 minutes writing your essay and 5 minutes checking it. Remember, paste your response in, then click submit. That's the easiest way to do it. And then you should see your exam is complete. And if you don't see that after you hit submit, then you're going to have to request a June makeup date. Don't refresh, just hit submit. Okay. If you accidentally close out your browser or your device crashes, you can use your e-ticket. Again, so I would write it down to return to the exam. Your time has started though, so you will lose a little bit of time. Just don't hit refresh or the back arrow. Okay. They'll be scored on the typical 1 to 5 scale. Remember, 3 is generally a good passing score. Sign into My AP no later than June 20th to indicate where you want your scores to go to. And whatever college you select, one college, you get it for free. After that, it's $15 for each college you want to send it to. Okay. Checking your browser, make sure you're using Chrome. Do not use Internet Explorer. Okay, so now I've got the AP checklist on this assignment, so make sure that you either print that out or hand copy it, and we will do a mock test this week. All right, have a good day.